The sun hung low over the Arizona desert, casting a copper glow across the ridges as if warning anyone foolish enough to linger past daylight that night would not be kind. And it was in that simmering heat that Ethan Ward pulled the reins of his mule, the best one he owned, the one he'd raised from birth and trusted more than most men, because he sensed the fear before he heard the footsteps. At first, he thought the desert wind was playing tricks, but then two figures stumbled from behind the canyon brush. Two young Apache sisters, breathless, trembling, bruised from running miles barefoot, their traditional dresses torn by thorns and dust clinging to their skin like shadow. Ethan didn't reach for his rifle. He didn't even think of it because something in their eyes wasn't wild or threatening. It was desperate. The older sister, tall and fierce despite exhaustion, stepped in front of the younger one with shaking hands and a dull knife, her broken English trembling on her lips. "Please. Horse, need go fast." Ethan looked back toward the open desert. They had been hunted, and whoever chased them was close. The younger girl could barely stand, her ankles swollen and breath sharp. Without a horse, they wouldn't make a quarter mile, and Ethan, despite every reason to walk away, knew exactly what he had to do. With swift hands, he stripped the saddle off Jasper, his strongest, fastest mule, and motioned to the sisters. "You take him," he said firmly. At first, the girls didn't believe him, but when the younger one nearly collapsed, Ethan helped her onto Jasper's back and lifted the older girl behind her. "Head north," he whispered. "Your people should be close." He slapped Jasper's flank, and the mule bolted into the horizon in a rising cloud of gold dust. Ethan watched them disappear, his chest tight with both relief and dread. Because right then, just as the sun dipped lower, he heard the riders approaching. 5 men, bounty hunters, the same wolves the girls fled from. They arrived with whiskey on their breath and cruelty in their eyes. Circling Ethan like vultures, Scarface, their leader, sneered as he questioned Ethan, and when he spotted Jasper's fresh tracks, suspicion turned quickly into fury. Ethan tried lying, tried stalling, but before he could utter another word, a deep rumble rolled across the desert, a sound so powerful it silenced every man present. Dozens of hoofbeats thundered over the ridge. A full Apache war party. They descended like a storm, riders painted for battle, spears raised, faces set in stone. In seconds they surrounded the bounty hunters, knocking rifles from hands, dragging men from saddles, and dismantling the attackers with precision that left even Ethan stunned. Scarface tried to flee, firing wildly, but an arrow cracked the gun clean from his grip. And then the circle opened, allowing one rider to approach, a tall, commanding chief adorned in a feathered headdress that swayed in the evening breeze. It was Greyhawk, a leader spoken of with deep respect across the territory. He dismounted and studied Ethan with sharp, calm eyes. "You," Greyhawk said, "helped my daughters." Ethan blinked, stunned by the revelation. "Your daughters?" "Mourning Dove and Little Sparrow," the chief said. Ethan nodded slowly. "They were running from those men. I gave them my mule so they could escape." Greyhawk's gaze softened just slightly. "They reached us before sunset. They told us of the man who saved their lives." The hunters were forced to kneel and disarmed, shaking in terror as Greyhawk pronounced judgment. But before justice was delivered, the chief turned to Ethan again. "Come, someone wishes to see you." Ethan looked toward the horizon and saw Jasper returning carrying Mourning Dove and Little Sparrow, both tired but safe. The mule trotted straight to Ethan, nudging him in the chest as if to say, "I did what you asked." Ethan laughed softly and hugged the animal's neck. Mourning Dove slid down gracefully, bowed her head with her hand over her heart, and whispered, "Thank you." Little Sparrow hugged Ethan tightly, tears streaking down her dusted cheeks. Greyhawk watched with pride and gratitude in his eyes. "You saved my family," he said. "My people will not forget you." The sun vanished behind the mountains and the Apache riders prepared to leave. With the captured bounty hunters, Greyhawk placed a firm hand on Ethan's shoulder. "Our paths cross for a reason. One day you will understand." Ethan stood there in the cooling desert evening, watching them ride into the fading light like spirits returning to the land, Jasper standing proudly at his side. And in that moment, bathed in twilight, heart pounding with the weight of what he had done, Ethan realized the truth. One act of courage made before sunset had changed the rest of his life forever. If this powerful Western story touched your heart, if Ethan's courage, sacrifice, and the bond between strangers moved you, then make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more emotional, action-packed stories like this one. Hit the bell icon so you never miss the next epic chapter. Stay with us. More unforgettable stories are coming.